All right, folks, welcome if you're watching to our live stream of the Potomac Curling Club 2015 President's Trophy Page Playoff Game. We're very excited to have web streaming happening for you this evening. This is Adam Kapp.
And I'm Ann Wiggins, and we're going to be your hosts tonight.
Yes.
So we're going to focus on the 1-2 game for the Wednesday night Capital League, and that's going to be played on sheet C. And then the 3-4 game, the 1-2 game is between Calvin Weber's team. There's Gilad and Gabe Kempenich with Brandon Corelli playing lead. And then they're playing the Clausen clan with Hunter Clausen skipping, Caleb playing third, but Eli is throwing second, but he'll be in the house. And then their dad, Eric, will be playing lead.
All right.
And then the 3-4 game?
And for the 3-4 game, we have KEBE versus Girl Power. KEBE skipped by Mike Kriz with Steven Enixon, Rich Gray, and Brian Ewert. On Girl Power, skip Courtney Shaw with Kendall, Catherine, and Katie. A lot of good K names.
KKKs, yeah.
Maybe not that, but
Well, a lot of harsh
yes, hard
CK.
C sounds.
Hard C.
Everybody's just getting ready to go out here, and so this is a page playoff. So the non-winner of the 1-2 game will have another chance in the late draw tonight against the winner of the 3-4 game. So doubleheader tonight for somebody.
All right.
And then also in the late draw, we'll have so the teams on sheets A and D are actually playing for the Senate Trophy, and then in the late draw, we'll have the teams competing for the House Trophy.
Okay. So they're out there taking their slides, getting ready. Pretty relaxed so far. I don't see a lot of tension out there.
And this is on live stream.
So it looks like our 1-2 game is...
Our 1-2 game is being
Getting
delayed by
ready.
one of the team members
Oh.
posting on Facebook that this game is live streaming.
First things
That's
first.
okay, right? Priorities.
Yes.
And as Clausen is the 1 seed, they have the hammer, or they have the choice, and they elected to have the hammer.
A normal start.
Looks like, yeah, Skip's calling for the center guard, it looks like.
And we're off. Looks a little hot. Might be in the house. And they decide to sweep it in. Looks like it's biting forefoot.
Yep, we don't have our house cams tonight, so we'll call it the best we can from here. That one's clearly in the forefoot.
Okay, Hunter is taking the classic stance, calling for a side guard from his dad.
One. Pretty quick. Check. Let it go. Whoa. Got it, girl. That's fine. I want to guard. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Not coming off center too fast. Yeah, we're trying to pull it a little bit.
Yeah, bring it tight. Really tight.
That's actually a pretty good guard for the stone that's currently in the house, it looks like. So
it is.
Not quite what they wanted.
Not quite. Didn't come over much. So now Calvin has decided to guard that.
Yep, line, yep. Whoa. Where are we? Yep, line, yep. Gotta go, hard line. One way. Whoa.
Little sweep. Looks like they might get a freeze.
Yeah, line. Yep.
And they do. Tiny tap.
Yep.
Team back 8 weeks.
So Hunter has called for moving his own guard and rolling the shooter onto the rings.
Sweeper's working on it there.
Whoa.
Not sure that's going to work. No, it looks like it's a nose hit. And does tap Shot Rock, but rolls off a bit, is in the 12-foot. So he's still, so now Calvin still has 2, sitting 2.
Calling the guard again, it looks like. Top house.
Yep,
I guess it's not technically a guard. Guarding the shot rock.
guarding
though.
Shot Rocks, but wanting it in the house. Sweepers are calling it that it might be a lot of weight. Let's see.
It's hard in the first end. The ice is often a little stiff. Tough for shooters to get that weight down, especially for draws and guards.
Absolutely. And it wasn't that hard. It ended up being a nice little tap.
Well, they're certainly loading up on rocks in the 4-foot, or at least the 8-foot there.
Yep. A lot of red rocks in play. Hunter is looking to blast at this point.
Well, his team's usually pretty good at that. So.
Yep. Shots away. Oh, it looks like it is on the front. So he actually got what he kind of wanted on the other shot. He pulled the guard off and rolled over the shooter so that it's now a corner guard on the other side of the house. And the 3 shots, the 3 red rocks are in plain view, but of course Calvin is going to put up that perfect guard.
Of course.
We all know how easy that is, right, Adam?
Yes, absolutely. Every time, right? I believe this is this Gabe Kempenich?
Yes, it is.
His second rock.
Gabe playing second. Again, a little close there, but they've got a the best. It's not a very good curling term, but it's a big clump out there of red rocks.
It's in shooting, we would say that was a nice tight grouping. I don't know that that's really what you want in curling all the time.
No, you don't. They got to hit something now. So Eli's second shot. Eli playing second. Calling for his sweep.
You can go if you need to. Yep, line. Hurry, line.
Okay, looks like they got 1 out for sure.
Okay, well.
Spread out the others. The back
one
rock
sort
ended
of
up
jammed on.
in the back.
Looks like Red's still counting 3 at this moment.
It is, but their shooter did end up in the front of them, and that can always be used. Unless Calvin puts up the perfect guard, which is what he's calling for.
The perfect guard's been a little elusive so far this first end, so we'll
Yeah.
see see what we can, what they can do here.
As you said, you know, getting that weight down in the first few ends is very difficult.
And you know, sometimes here at the end of the first end, you know, into the second end, the weight on those rocks is changing
Absolutely.
very quickly. So
Got it.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
but the speed of the ice, I should say, is what's changing.
Right.
You gotta cross the center here.
It's coming down. It's a little hot. Wow. Okay, so it did not do the job. It did roll the shooter into the Yellowstone into the 12-foot and rolled over. The shooter rolled over into the house as well. So the two are now sitting very open for a good double if it's there. Here comes Caleb's first shot.
Yep, yep, yep.
Whoa, whoa,
Yep.
whoa. Yes,
Yep, yep, yep.
yes.
Good work.
Okay, did not get the double, but got shot rock.
A little heavy, but
And
Well,
rolled-
took out
rolled
the main
himself.
shot rock, and
Yeah.
then I think that one's, is that still biting there on the?
In the back?
It looks like it's maybe about half 12.
Oh, that one was there. His shooter
okay.
his shooter went out.
This is why Anne's paying attention to things. It's all I can do to
He's the techie.
keep the camera.
He's our tech. Adam is the techie.
I think that's a strong word for what's happening right now, but I'll
Well,
take it.
are we is it working?
It's working.
Okay, then you're the techie.
We seem to be streaming some sort of video to the internet.
Okay, good.
Just normal.
If I were in charge, I'd probably have cartoons on or something. I would get it all wrong.
That would be good too.
Okay, Galad's first shot coming down. Not exactly sure what the call was, but he ended up missing and went through the house.
It's not I'm not sure what the call was there, but I
No.
don't think that's what was asked for.
I don't think so either. He either came out really narrow or too much weight. Maybe it was a draw. I'm not sure.
Oh,
but-
maybe they were hoping just to wick it, just to tap it
tip-
behind cover a little
hit
bit
and
and then roll over.
Yeah, could be. So now they have left the other shot rock open for a take. Hard sweep. Call. Oh. Nice shot. Nice shot. Cleared a lot of red out. And now it looks like we've got two yellow
Yeah,
counting. A little tough to tell.
Yellow
who's-
sitting at least one,
Yeah.
maybe two.
Maybe two. Because there is a front red right off center line in
with,
the 12-foot.
and we're on to Skips Rocks now, yeah?
Yep, there we go.
All right.
So big swing already in this end in terms of who's doing what, which is always a lot more fun to watch.
And yellow does have hammer, so at this point, red will be looking to probably hold them to one, I would imagine. Might be able to get the steal if they can get behind some cover.
Looking at the call here, it looks like it's going to be a take. And I think he wants to be able to roll over. And it's away.
Yes. Yeah, hard.
Calling for the sweep. Hard sweep. Hard sweep.
No roll.
Okay, cut it a little thin. And Eli has swept it out. We have a little bit different arrangement, as we mentioned earlier. Eli is playing second, but he's going to be in the house on Skip Rocks. I would say that the Clausen clan is one of those highly functional families that has no problem deciding who's doing what when.
Well, there's certainly
with no ego involved.
There's certainly an established pecking order, right? I mean, there's no arguing about.
Nope, who's doing what, and everybody seems to be happy, and that's what you want. Everybody happy in their position. So it looks like we're going to go for a draw around cover. It's not curling. It is going to be kind of in the open, but that's not all bad. And where's it going to end up? Coming to the back. That's not so good. So it's back 12 foot. So it looks like a red skip, Calvin Weber, has chosen to do a hit and roll. And if he accomplishes that, he will be behind cover, but there's a lot of distance there.
He doesn't have a lot of house to play with in the back there.
No.
If he wants to stay.
If he wants to stay, yeah. A lot of discussion with his team, telling him what he wants, what the options are. Good communication. Shots away. Gilad calling strongly for sweep.
And that stone is curling.
It is curling. Curling really hard. Okay, he did pick it out, but he went also. So they are now checking to see who they think.
Looks from the overhead monitors in the warm room. I still can't really tell. I'm going to say
can't.
maybe yellow by a hair, but that could entirely be the camera angle.
Well, based on the fact that where they're putting the broom, I would say it is yellow because they're just doing a draw. Otherwise, they would do the take, right? Okay, so he just threw a nice a draw with a little bit of weight, so I think he can make a nice adjustment. And it looks like he did. Just a little bit past the tee, well, back into the 8 foot, but it was nice. And they're looking. They are still looking. And I guess they've decided it is too yellow.
Okay. On to the second end.
Just to let you know a little bit on sheet B, a lot of rocks in play for the 3-4 game.
We are going to be featuring the 1-2 game here on sheet C, but we'll try to get you those score updates from the other sheets as we can, and even take a look around if we get a minute.
Okay, the Clausen clan is sweeping their rock, their first rock, into the house, into top 8, right off center.
Pretty quick.
haven't posted the score on sheet B yet for the 3-4 game, but Girl Power is throwing first, so obviously they won the end, just don't know by what. We'll let you know when we see them post a score.
Okay, everything. Get it. Okay, 4 foot. If it's in.
Okay, Calvin called for a corner guard, and I think it was a little shorter than he wanted. It's only a 1, but it is, position's good. It's just a little long for a good corner guard.
Yes, line. Yes, line. Line's good. Line's good. Top 4.
So now Eric's second shot. Eric Clausen's second shot. Looks a little hot. Coming past Shot Rock. Looks like it's going to end up just biting back 12. But very good line in terms of right behind Shot Rock. Calvin has elected to take Shot Rock if he can.
Yep, hurry! Hard!
Weber going to be trying to look to get those 2 points back this end.
Close at getting the double, but didn't quite make it, but got a nice roll. And of course now Hunter's going to go for that. It's in the 12-foot.
Has to be a little careful, a little aware of the jam, but
Yep.
plenty of room to
Yes, line.
run it through.
Whoa, whoa. Yes, hard. Hard.
Electing to hit it on the outside, and unfortunately they did get the jam.
Hope I didn't jinx him. Didn't need to.
As called by my partner.
Yep. It's tough to get there.
Calvin calling another draw here, perhaps behind his long guard, I think.
It seems like a lot of ice, but that to me would be the call. You want to split
Maybe
them up.
maybe he's trying to guard the Shot Rock.
Yeah, that looks more like it. Oh, looks.
Although this rock looks a little heavy, maybe.
Well, they're not sweeping. No, it is. He is looking for the first call. A shot behind guard. Coming a little deep. And it ended up just biting the 4-foot in the back, not guarded, but Hunter wants him to take 1, but now the team is questioning whether the double is there.
Although they may want to, I think he's arguing to keep that back one and just sit on top of it as a catcher or as a freeze.
Waiting for the curl. It's not real big weight. That was a pretty nice shot. Did take out 1. Is sitting shot, but again, all the 2 rocks that are in the back of the house, so plenty of room to come to. And that's what Calvin has called for.
Get it as tight as you can. We're gonna over curl. Yep. Keep bringing it.
Whoa, come on, guys.
Get it in.
Whoa, tons of room.
We're not gonna guard.
Where are we? Just a 5. Whoa.
Looks like they're worried about weight.
Whoa.
They don't want it too close.
Yes, hard.
Ooh, looks like they may have. No, it looks like it's going to be good.
Whoa, that's good.
Good sweep, good line, protecting their shot rock. Biting the 8-foot.
I don't want a dead jam. I'm ready to get over the top and dead jam. All right, big half, 3/4. All right, feel. Good ball out.
Hunter's elected to take off the top rock.
Yes, yes, yes.
Called sweep immediately.
Whoa!
Up now.
Yeah, whoa.
Oh, so close. Looking for the double, but he did get the intended rock and went out himself.
Not all the way. Just over and up now.
Like a 6.
Yeah.
So it looks like Calvin wants to do the same thing again, eh?
Yep, maybe a touch deeper. I think I heard him
Yeah.
call for 6.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, and just to update you on sheet B, Girl Power did score 1 in the first end.
That was a steal for them, I think. So that's.
Oh, okay.
I believe. I think as
Yes,
a
it
4
was.
seed, they would not have had the hammer.
You're right, and I did see that Mike's draw, his last draw did tick and came over too far and didn't do anything. So, okay, here comes Lod shot, a nice pushback on the yellow rock, moved it back to the 12-foot. They're now sitting. Both shot rocks are about a foot back of the tee.
Yeah, that was a little heavier than what was
Yeah.
called, but you know they're sitting 2. They have that yellow as a catcher in the back.
Got it there.
Not the worst thing.
I think this time, yes, Hunter is calling for the double.
They're going to need that double if they want to try to force
Yep.
to 1 or steal.
Waiting for some curl. Oh, not what he exactly what he wanted. So he red rock jammed on the yellow in the back, and the 2 reds are still there. The yellow rock is in the 4-foot shot. There are a lot of jam possibilities, but
There are. There's if they hit it nose or just left of nose, they can poke it through that hole, but definitely some possibilities for trouble. Looks like that's what Calvin is calling, right?
yep.
Whoa! Yep, yep. Hard! Hard line! Hard line! Hurry, it's really good. Hurry, gotta go.
Looks like a very subtle pick, and it does it beautifully, right through the port.
Great shot. Red now holding 3 in the house.
It's a beautiful, beautiful shot. I love to see that quiet takeout weight.
I was just going to say the same thing. I think that gives you a lot of options. It's
It
definitely
does.
something that some of the teams that I play on have tried to start using a little bit more.
It's nice to see. That does give you a lot more options, and both of these teams are quite capable of very big weight.
Yeah.
We used to call it, in my old club up in Connecticut, we used to call it swimming pool weight, because on the other side of the ice was the country club swimming pool. So, yes, put it in the swimming pool.
But yeah, especially on a shot like that where they had to get the angle
Absolutely.
just right.
Just right.
And these sweepers can also hold a line, so
Yes.
usually
And-
not too worried about
You want to use your sweepers. You don't want to take them out of the game. Nice roll. Nice roll. Okay, so Hunter took out.
Now we're a little bit back to where we were 2 shots ago. So
Yeah, not quite the same.
yeah, the positioning is a little different now.
A
But
little bit different position. It is touching the Yellow Rock is touching the tee line. They are looking at the angles, making sure they figure out how best to do it, to pick that out.
they actually have some more options here because they could actually slash it out to
Either side.
pick it out, I should say, to either side, yeah. Or run it back through, although I think that port in the back now is maybe a little tougher.
I think the port is a little tougher. I think the call is that he wants to shoot it out
Yeah. Shooting it out to the left.
left.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which seems to be what
yeah,
he's
and
indicating
that's what
would
he's
be the
indicating.
safest.
Yeah, it would be. So they've figured out the angle. I credit my misspent youth as a pool player with teaching me angles.
Yeah, well, that'll do it.
To get here, I think I need about here. Yeah, that's up to speed. Okay, so like 70. Yeah, I think so. Okay.
And how long have you been curling, Adam?
This is my 5th year. I
Okay.
went to my first and last Dykes in February.
Fantastic. Did you have a good time?
I had a wonderful time.
And do I ask scores, or we just keep it at you had a wonderful time?
I had a wonderful time, and you know, we won a game.
Okay. Okay, they are calling for a hard sweep. Now up. Oh, looks like the angle. And they did it again.
Wow,
Did it again with a beautiful call.
ran it through that port again too, which you said
Yes.
even maybe a little tougher this time. So
I think
good.
it was a little tougher, but with that quieter weight,
Good plan B. Good,
Yep.
good way to see that was still there and
Yep.
make the adjustment.
that is such an all-in shot. You've got to have it well thrown, the right weight. Your sweeper's ready to get down, come up as needed, and then of course your third in the house, making sure he sees the line as needed.
Claussens need to figure something out here so that they don't.
Yeah. They're going to have to
Up
figure out
again.
how to hide in plain sight, as I call it.
Not exactly sure what the call is. I think that they're.
A hit and roll?
You know, I almost thought that it was a corner freeze, but that doesn't make sense with the broom that I'm seeing. So it
No.
might be the hit and roll.
Yeah, I think that's what we're going for here. And no line for sweep. Now sweep. And a beauty. He got 2. Unfortunately, he did roll enough back so that Calvin is sitting shot, but he eliminated 2 big rocks.
Yep. Leaves the draw, the pretty open draw for
Yep,
2,
for
but
2.
that's better a 2 than a 3.
Absolutely.
Just have the broom on the edge of the 8-foot. This should be a pretty straightforward draw, although they're never totally straightforward, are they?
No. Yeah, piece of cake.
There are no gimmies in this game.
Not at all. They're calling for a sweep, then up. Keep an eye on it.
They have pretty much the whole 8-foot to
They
work
do.
with, so front or back, as they say.
And now they're sweeping hard, and they've got it.
Oh, not going to sweep that one to the button? Come on, guys.
Yeah, what's
Cover the
that all
pin.
about? Show a little class.
So that's 2
Control it like
as we
you're
move into the third end.
So 2 red with answered the 2 yellow in the first end. So we're off to a great start. Over on sheet B, looks like Kibi, I'm sure I'm pronouncing that. I don't know where that name comes from, but Mike Kriz did score 1. So they're all tied up at 1 each after 2 ends. And they've begun their 3rd end, just as.
Oops. There you go. Their name was actually the initials, the first initial of the last name of each of their team members, until the B was for Brian Breen, who recently moved to Texas.
Okay.
Richard Gray, their 5th, has been playing out the rest of the season with them, but that was the original.
That was what it was. Okay.
The origin of that name. Yep. All right, we got a nice guard there by Red, and now I think they're calling the draw for Eric Clausen. Claudad, as is his nickname.
Claudad.
I like
That's
that.
cute.
Yes, line.
Calling sweep for line. Want to get by that guard.
Overcurled on
Yeah,
the
it
bit, I
did.
think. They're going to tap the redstone into the 12-foot.
Okay, so it is, the red is in full 12-foot. That got tapped in. And now Calvin has called for a draw around the yellow center guard, not in the house, but it looks a little strong.
That's going to go through.
And it's through.
Especially with a little sweep.
Yeah. Okay, Hunter has chosen to ignore the one on the 12-foot, the red on the 12-foot, called for come around his guard. Still figuring out the weights.
Well, they're still changing, I'm sure.
Yeah, and line. They're still, seems to be pretty straight on that right-hand side.
And maybe a little quicker than the throwers are expecting.
Yes. So that was through as well.
It's quick over here.
As you just heard Calvin say, it's quick over here. Having seen both red and yellow go through, trying to draw around that corner guard.
And wrong handle. Not good.
Okay, looks like this is going to be nice. And it does come around.
Very nicely to the top of the 4-foot.
Yeah. They got, somebody finally got it in there. Okay, so we're going for a hit now by Hunter.
Eli.
With Eli's first shot. Okay, missed the run back, but did move the guard out of position and exposed shot rock.
A gentle tap. Can't see any of that yet. T-weight. If we're straight to here with no touch, that's fine too. I mean, I can get to him with hack probably. T-weight. You want to try? I don't mind that. I can see a sliver. I
Okay, Calvin is calling for a T-weight split on his red rock, wants to go behind cover and move his shot rock to another spot.
Behind is fine too. Let's go this way. Yep.
Gabe's second shot. They're calling for sweep now.
Whoa. Real hard.
Got a lot of options here. Okay. We got some pretty nice separation. Well, shot rock is just fully in the 4-foot on center, and second shot is just biting the 4-foot. So we're gonna hit
Control up.
with Eli's second shot.
So like a 9.5? Yeah. I like 9.5.
Yes, hard. Hard.
Calling for sweep.
Whoa.
Now up.
Whoa.
Yes!
Whoa.
Yes! Hurry! Hurry!
Okay, picked out the second shot, and the shooter stayed on the rings on the 12-foot over to the side. Not all bad. Okay, and Calvin has elected to go for that.
You like 4? Should be straight. Normal.
It's a little bit of an aggressive call. What do you think?
Yeah, it is an aggressive call, but recognizing that Hunter has hammer, he wants to make sure he doesn't get two.
Control. Hard. I'd rather stick around. Hard guy. Forward then. Hard.
But I agree with you. I think it is a very aggressive call.
Hurry. Hard. Hard. Come on. Whoa. Hard.
Well, we'll see how the end develops to see whether that was a smart call to make or
We
not.
will.
Because that could be a very
But
big
you-
strategy call.
But you're right. I mean, it takes one possible counter out of play. You know, red is sitting 2 in the house now. You know, their shot rock is open, but going to force the other team to make their shots.
He'd like, okay, the yellow shot is away. They'd love to get a nice hit and roll out of this. Not much roll.
Pretty much just on the nose.
Yeah, stayed around.
This is okay too.
And red's going to be able to see all of that.
Yep.
At least that.
It's pretty much right on the center line, just to the left.
Yeah, because yours was, that's where yours was. It cuts hard at the end.
Okay, he's got nice tight ice for this.
Whoa! Whoa!
Gilad came out a little wide.
Yep.
Now he's calling for it. With that nice lower weight, the sweepers are still in the game.
But it's giving the stone a chance to curl up a little bit.
Yeah.
And then he called him off there at the end.
And
Got a little tuck, maybe just
half shot showing, right?
better than whole shot showing.
Yes, true. But again, love to emphasize that with that softer take weight, you have more to do. You can do so much more. I mean, he did come out wide, so they didn't sweep.
Just a little more tolerance, you know,
Yes,
for that exactly that kind of
absolutely.
thing to happen.
Absolutely.
Ball spot, yeah.
And especially in these early ends when you're still figuring the ice
Figuring
out.
the ice out. Don't know the runs, the falls, the challenges. Okay. Looks. Oh my goodness. Well, that's a kind of a wacky shot we got here.
It's a great shot.
Well, actually, in old parlance, I don't know if I'm going to get bleeped or not, but
This is a family-friendly program, Ann.
it's called an SHITTY shot done well. And that's when the skip says, sorry, I didn't mean to do it, but I ain't taking it back.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes plan B, sometimes you get a little lucky. Cashing in a little curling karma there, maybe.
Yeah, you take it. But you usually apologize for it. You don't say, great shot, because it was a wicky-wacky shot, cleared everything out, and yellow is now sitting one, biting, or fully on the 8-foot.
And with the hammer. So.
With hammer, yeah. So it happens.
It does.
And how fast do you adapt and adjust and say, okay, let's go.
Yes! Yes! Yes, yes, yes!
There seems to be some disagreement on whether there should be sweeping or not. And they did get shot rock, but not quite as much roll as they would have liked.
That might have been the source of the little disagreement of
Yeah.
where they needed to sweep the rock to get that roll.
Yeah.
They did not get behind
Did
any
not.
cover here.
No. Rolled about 2 feet, really needed to roll about 3 feet. Not an easy shot to do. But that's where the disagreement came between.
And for this game, in the 1-2 game, it's going to be who gets those rolls that is
yes.
going to be a big difference in the
Yeah.
in the outcome, as it always is.
Okay, so Hunter's shot is away. Oh, it's curling a lot. It looks like it's going to wreck on the yellow guard.
Spill
And
both guards.
both-
No, one will.
One's biting. Okay,
Yeah, just.
just biting. But boy, did that curl. Obviously, they did not expect that curl. I'm not sure they've come that way before, so.
They haven't thrown too many inside
No,
out yet.
Inside
so.
out. So it curled a lot, and maybe it was just a little too subtle there. More ice or a little too subtle? So now Calvin and Gilad are trying to decide how best to steal one or two. Looks like they're going to do a promote back from that. From what you see, what do you think? Draw around or bump up?
I mean, I think it might be a draw, with Plan B being the tap,
Sure.
but
Get that
although that
option.
ice is a little tight, maybe they're just going for the tap.
Yeah.
It's going to be a little tough because with the tap,
Yes.
they'll be sitting just at the top of the 8-foot, so there won't be a ton of room, assuming that they're trying to raise this to the button.
Well, they're not completely decided yet on the shot because the skip and his front end are still talking about it,
It's good. Take the temperature of the team.
right? Everybody's got to be all in.
Sounds like it looks like they
Now
have a
they've
game
decided.
plan now.
Yep.
And I think they're calling a little more ice. was
Yes.
the
So I think it
upshot.
might be a now come around rather than a promote. But they don't really know this side that well yet, so let's see. No, I think we've got the promote. I can't tell.
Looks a little light even for that, maybe.
Yes. That is the promote. But
I
it
think
is
this
curling.
is going to over curl,
Yeah.
and they're just going to try to get as much distance between them as they
Yes, they can.
can.
Now, the question is,
That rock is about halfway still into the 4-foot on the back.
okay.
Left side.
And Hunter has chosen, there's enough separation, he is not going to risk it. He's going to do a cold draw for one.
Yes,
His
this
last
is the
shot.
hammer.
Yeah.
All
yeah.
right. Well, then that's Pretty much his only choice. He could play to hit, but
Risky
you know,
hit.
risky,
hit.
and you have the backing. Can afford to be a little heavy, maybe.
What?
Right.
Are we definitely in? Okay.
This is where you
No.
work on patience. You say, I'm going to get my definite one. I can draw the button and not panic.
Always good practice for a skip to throw a few button draws here in the early ends.
One of my early coaches said, can't draw, don't skip. And he does come back.
So it's curling a little bit.
Oh, Lordy.
Nope, got by. Oh, but maybe too much.
Oh, my. They should have.
I think
Stayed
that
on it.
Red may have stolen one here by the skin of their teeth. They're looking at it.
Wow, that's a shame.
Needed to either hold that for line a little bit to get a piece of that red,
Yeah.
or just stay off it completely and let it.
Yeah. One or the other.
Although I thought that it might have even been curling enough to catch that red in the front, so I think they were in a
They're
little bit
worried
of a.
about that, yeah, in a quandary.
All right, well, a steal of 1 for Red in the third makes it 3-2.
And over in the 3-4 game,
Okay, wait only.
3 in the third end, Girl Power scored 1. So a nice tight game here as well. A score of 2-1 after the third end. Just what we like to see. Nice, close games.
Certainly in this Page playoff, that's what we would expect.
Right.
All very good teams playing here. Been battling it out for the last however long this league is, since October it started.
Yes, beginning of the year.
Looks like Clausen's calling the draw now.
Line's good, back 8. Let it go a bit. All right, line's great, back 8.
This would be drawing around Brandon's.
Yes, line.
Yeah, I think they're calling for the back 8.
Yes, but it looks like it's curling a lot, so it's going to freeze almost. Well, to get a little tap on Brandon's shot.
Little separation
Rock.
there.
Yep.
Red almost on the center line now, full 8 foot. Yellow just biting 8.
I just want to throw board weight and play it this way.
So Calvin has chosen to take the top yellow and roll over, hopefully guarding his shot rock.
Hard.
Hard sweeping call.
Gotta move.
Now up.
Okay. Okay. -1. If you can get it over.
Wow, it
That's nice.
really backed off a lot, but it did accomplish the goal. It's got the
Move.
two red are really together there, guarded, but I think
Or a little bit high.
Hunter's going to go for
1 inch high or make this roll.
the double.
Whoa, 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 whoa!
Yeah, those stones are maybe a foot and a half,
Foot and
2
a
feet
half
apart.
I can't quite, yes, you're right. Good, I can see now on the line.
Yes, line, yes. Whoa. Whoa. Close. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Waiting for it. Okay, did take out 1 and exposed shot rock over on the right-hand side and left his shooter on the center line, biting the 8 foot.
Calvin, I think, calling the same basic idea here. Hit and flop over for a little bit of a guard.
Yep. Yeah, just about the same shot he had last time, just
Little
a little
different
different
position.
spot.
Yep.
Yep. Like back four.
Yeah, every inch, every inch, every inch, every inch.
Hard. Hard. Gotta go.
Okay, they're hoping for a hard sweep to avoid the jam, and they do.
No roll, but now they're holding control of the center line.
Solid forward.
Okay.
While he's hovering behind us, I'd like to thank Michael Dobbs for showing us how to run this crazy machine.
Yes. Our guru. How many viewers are we up to?
How can we tell?
60? Oh, 16.
That's
60. I want 60.
That's still more than I think we thought we would have. So thank you to all of you who are watching, and thank you for bearing with us.
Okay, the yellow rock curled a little bit, took out the red shot, and did stay in on the 12-foot, splitting the house nicely for yellow. But Calvin is now calling for taking out shot rock, the second rock, which is splitting the 12 and the 8-foot on the side here. This is Gabe's shot. Looks like he may have thrown it a little wide, and it's a flash. So Hunter has a great opportunity to do a nose hit. Have the house nicely split with 3 rocks. Shots away. Oh, they're sweeping hard. Worried about line, I guess. Now up. Got a little bit of a roll, but still good separation. Really good separation for the 3 yellow rocks in play and no red.
I'll give you a little more, Kendall.
Weber calling the takeout on the shot rock there, I think, with maybe a little roll.
Seemed to have been some discussion on what weight and line here, but looks like they finally decided.
It's not going to guard the rock. You might as well be.
Looking pretty good. Oh my, okay. I think he was just hoping for a double there, but he did take out shot
Good clear
rock
one, yep.
and rolled out himself. So of course, Hunter is now gonna put it back.
Red gonna have to find, again, something here to
Yeah.
not give up 3 or more.
I'm a little surprised at this line. Maybe it doesn't come off center much. I think I would have given a little more ice to keep the separation. What about you, Adam?
Yeah, well,
Oh, it's light.
yeah, they're working
It's
on
light. That is not going to make the house.
it. Well,
Oh, maybe. They're sweeping like crazy.
3 Clausen sweeping a rock will drag
boy.
it about as far as any rock would
Oh,
go.
boy. It's about
give it bust.
a foot short, maybe.
Yeah, we can't see it on the house monitor here in
Yeah.
the warm room, so.
They are not happy, understandably. So now, Calvin may be having a better feel for where to put the broom on this outside shot, and
Are they
Gilad is going for it.
Still going for the hit and roll?
I think so.
I thought they might just be drawing, but
No, they're going for the hit and roll.
Certainly on the way to this rock, they got to hit something.
Yeah.
And they will.
They have it. Oh, no roll. Well. Now, if Hunter was going to school on that last rock, he knows exactly how to get it.
And maybe get the roll. Although they might like to keep it over there, actually, just to keep the house
I
split.
wouldn't mind that they kept it out there.
Yeah. Yeah, with the hammer, they can always.
Yeah.
Whoa, yes, hard, 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 hard.
And I think they're going to catch just the inside, get a little roll. Roll on the center line. Pretty good roll.
Yeah, but see,
Still open.
It is open, and I question whether or not it was. I just as soon leave it as far out there as possible because now they've given them the opportunity to
Hit and sit on the top of the fourth.
hit and roll behind cover.
That's true, yeah. I mean, maybe the only thing I could say for this is that, you know, both teams had just thrown a couple hits on that line, but a center line hit is going to be pretty straightforward for any of the teams in this game, certainly.
Yeah, well, it was going to end up in a different spot, but I'm not sure I would have swept it
Sure.
because it wasn't going to bury. Easy to say from back here.
Everything's easy from back here.
Yes.
Yes, yes!
They're yelling for sweep. I think Calvin may have thrown it
Oh, it is over curling.
inside a little bit.
Wreck the guard, maybe? No, they do run the guard through, and that shot rock will be biting on the top of the 12, but
Not out counting anything.
no.
So Hunter trying to figure out what he has elected to do to get a number 3 shot in. And it looks like he's going to pull something in to split between the two.
I want it pretty far out there.
Or I think he's now coming down to, I think Eli's just got the other arm up.
Yeah.
I think he's coming down to it and splitting the two. What do you think?
Yeah, the split's always very tricky to pull off, but again, a little bit of an aggressive call considering the situation that they're in.
They're thinking about it.
Yeah, I don't know. What would you call here, Ann? I almost don't mind.
I don't mind that. I like splitting them up.
Yeah.
I think it should be a nice T-line draw. And then you have options.
Yep.
You know, if it really overcurls, you can come behind cover.
That's sort of what I was thinking, yeah.
No, he has elected to go to the open side. And
This one's going
hope
to be
that
just
he's-
behind the tee, it looks like.
oh boy. Okay.
Ooh, back 12.
Back 12. All right. Yeah, I think the call may have been to try and tick.
Yeah, I think that is what they were trying to do. But we started to see shots coming down that center line have started to curl.
Yes.
Especially at the end. They
Right,
are
right.
breaking a little hard. So Skips will have to adjust to that. And now it looks like Weber maybe trying to hit the shot rock here and then roll behind his own biter.
See if he can hide and prevent Hunter from scoring a big end.
I'm almost surprised. I mean, the freeze is never an easy shot, but a freeze you feel like would almost certainly hold yellow to 1 here if it was made. But if they can get rid of a counter and get themselves out of
Undercover.
harm's way.
Yep. That's probably the
A lot of
safest
weight
shot. A lot
hard
of
for a
yelling.
piece.
A lot of yelling. Okay. It overcurled a little bit, didn't get the double, but did get shot rock. So now,
And where this rock is, if the Clausens want to take it out, they do have to maybe watch for a jam.
they do. It's got to be,
Nose, got to be just to the right of nose, actually.
yes, it does. And they don't want much more than nose. I mean, it's got to be off center, off nose, either side. Yeah, you got to stick
They
around.
can roll. They can roll almost anywhere in the house.
Yes.
That there is that red biter, but it is
It's not going to count.
only on by the barest of margins.
So he's put the broom on the rock.
I don't even knowing the weight that the Clausens can throw on this, having seen the last couple rocks break so hard at the end.
I think he's now going to be upping his weight, eh?
Oh, I think so. But I
That
mean, that
line-
almost seems knowing that they have to stick around,
Yeah,
and that they're not
that-
going to catch this thing nose. They're going
No.
to have to get a little bit of a roll.
It's not big weight. It's not huge weight. Okay. They're calling for sweep. Oh, boy. Well, they did get the jam on the back. They end up getting 2.
Well, getting 2 is
Good enough.
good enough for the moment.
So now after 4, we've got a score of 4-3. Clausen over Weber. And over on sheet B in the 3-4 game, it looks like Keeby, Mike Krizz's team, scored 2 in the 4th end. So they are separated by 1 point also, with a score of 3-2 after 4.
The winner of that game is definitely playing a second game here tonight.
Whoa, it's a quick spot.
Okay, now, see if we can bring it over.
First stone here in the 5th end is a nice centerline guard.
Nice tight guard to the house. And of course, Calvin has elected to come around. I think that now that we're halfway through the game, I need to make some disclosures. I am the 5th on the Calvin Weber team.
Oh my goodness. This is a serious conflict of interest. I know.
You think? Well, can I counter it with the fact that Hunter is the 5th on my Thursday night team?
Oh, well then this is fine. I mean,
Okay,
you have a.
I'm cheering for the best shots. I'm
That's the
really
way it
cheering.
always should be in curling. That's the.
It's the way it's supposed to be.
And we've seen quite a few of them tonight. So.
We have. Brandon, the lead for Calvin, is in school and can't make early draws, so they brought me on for the early draws, and then but he can do the late draws. So it's been a lot of fun for me to play with them this second half.
That rock in the rings taken out. Weber calling the hit and roll.
I can't reach the camera, can you?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Brandon's second shot coming down. Unfortunately, it did curl and missed the shot in the house.
Yeah, that's right off the center line.
Yeah.
We're starting to see some rocks really cutting pretty hard.
curls, 2 inches.
Guard, top 8. Yeah.
We can hold it down. Yes, line. Hard, hard,
Okay, so we've got
hard.
a yellow rock coming down to try and just tap up one on, and they do it beautifully. And now we're looking at 3 all in the 12-foot, 2 frozen, 1 over on the other side. So Calvin has chosen now to draw around those 2 front.
Yeah, they are pretty high. He definitely has the room to
Draw
get behind there.
So that was a nice split by Eli.
Yep. Whoa, whoa. Come on. Yep. Yep. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Slide out.
So Gabe's first shot.
Yes, yes, yes.
Just cleaning.
Now they're calling for a line. It's a little hot. They did get by.
But they're going to be...
It's going to be through. So Gabe not happy with that shot.
Same way.
Okay, so now it looks like Hunter is asking to put something up in the 12-foot near center line. Block the draw.
Hurry, hurry, hurry. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Very close. Finish it, finish
Buy
it.
it. Bring it back here.
Nice throw, Kendall. Sorry.
This looks a little heavy. It's
It
going to go to
does.
the back of the house.
Looks heavy.
Maybe through. No,
Not through, but
back 12.
okay. So Calvin very decisively pats the ice. He wants a draw behind cover.
Authoritatively.
Okay, very authoritatively. Frustratingly,
Maybe not quite yet, but
Okay.
that's maybe... You certainly would like to see some red rocks start
the
to
house,
be in the
yes.
house here. And they are going to have to work on, this one to get
yes.
it there.
Looks like it might be.
It's going to go into that pile there, I think, in the...
Might tick over a little. Oh, it did. Okay. So solidly in the 8-foot
Sitting
and totally
shot-
open.
Yeah, sitting shot rock for the moment, but totally open.
It's gonna be, I think, pretty straight. Yeah. So.
We can't
All of our games looking pretty close here at the moment. 4-1 over over on sheet 1. I believe that's
No, they have.
Vico's team that's winning.
There's a big score in the 4th end.
Oh, that they haven't posted
You
yet.
can't. No, they've posted it. It's now 6.
Ooh, yeah, that's a
Yeah,
different
big score. 6-4
for yellow,
for yellow.
which is
They scored a 5 end in the 4th to make a big comeback.
can't see which team that is just at the moment.
I
but
can't either. Who's who? Okay, we're going for shot rock, and he peels it out. Unfortunately, oh nope, he sticks around.
5 yellow,
5
all
yellow.
in play. The path to the 4-foot still open.
Still wide open, and that's all Calvin needs to keep concentrating on.
Now I don't know if he's going to try to draw behind again or.
Yeah, he's got a challenge now. He may be going to hit.
Yeah.
And it looks like he is. No? Well, or the freeze to the back one.
And I think he's asking
Which to do?
which one Gabe wants to throw. It looks like it's the freeze to the back. Maybe.
What would you do here? I think I might hit front. Ignore the back. This freeze is always a touchy shot.
It is. I think that I might still call it, though, just because I would really like to have something in play. And even if I don't get the freeze, I could still maybe be behind that guard on the top 12.
They're sweeping hard for line.
Looks like they've got all of that back stone, and they're just going to bump
and they
it
do bump just
a couple
touch.
inches, but that's a great position for that rock to be in.
It is, but at the same time, there's no, Hunter is not going to mind
Peeling out that
peeling
back
that
yellow.
and getting the yellow at all. I really think the play's in the front, but here we go.
Yep.
No line call. Let's see
Sorry,
what happens.
there we go.
All right, they did not. Ended up jamming on their back and leaving the red exposed.
Well, that's a
in the
break
back.
for Weber.
It certainly is. Now he's going to try and draw behind cover, which now that makes sense. Calvin depended on that shot being missed.
Which is very dangerous to do
Yeah.
at this level.
Yeah.
Almost made him pay for it.
Yes, but he.
Again, a little curling karma.
Mm-hmm.
Curling luck.
Curling
on their
gods
side.
working with them.
With them and against them, yeah.
True. Looking for that elusive come around now. Trying the third time to get behind
And the sweepers are
yellow.
working on it.
hard. I'm afraid it's going to pick again. It's going to touch.
It really just seems like as soon as the stone touches that center line,
It
it
just
starts
goes.
to dive.
Yeah.
So that stone rolls and is biting the top 8, but very open. The back stone also very open.
I think you go for that front. Yeah.
Definitely a chance for a double there.
Yes, there
It
is.
would be a long run, but we've seen them make those shots before.
Absolutely. As one of my mentors used to say, you can't get 2 going for 1.
Yep.
And to just go for the back one is giving up on the possibility of 2. Okay, Hunter's taking his time. Here he goes.
That's good. Always like to see a skip have a quiet mind.
Okay, away, and he does it.
Brilliant shot.
Beautiful, beautifully done. Beautifully done. That was a long double. Well thrown, well swept, well called, well done. And now we're sitting with
All right, Calvin Weber thinks that he
5 yellow.
knows the magic formula to get this. Oh, no, now they're taking another look at it. I thought he was going to call the draw behind again.
I thought he was too.
Or maybe they still are, just with more ice this time.
Yeah.
It's tricky, though, because it doesn't
Whoa.
curl until it gets close to center.
Right.
Those rocks are in a slightly different configuration now, those
They
yellow
are.
rocks on the top of the house. Maybe a little more room coming off of the center line. But
Boy, that seems like a lot more room that he's looking at, doesn't it?
it does.
But maybe he's seen that cut.
He's been watching that line. They've thrown that shot 3 or 4
Yeah.
times this end. So.
Yeah, and he is looking to come behind. Where does he need to have that line?
I think.
Okay, he's bringing it in a little
Yep.
bit. I'm
All
glad
right.
to see
I like
that.
this. I
I like
this
that
call
line better. Yeah. Okay, we're in agreement.
Well, if Ann and I agree, then it must be the right ice.
Well, yeah.
They're just calling this about halfway in the 8-foot. And I think that my guess would be that the sweepers are going to have to wait on this one to let it work a little bit and then jump on
And
it
then jump on it.
when it gets
Yeah.
close to the center line.
Yeah. And
And the
it's-
weight's going to have to be right because they can't sweep it.
Absolutely. The timing on this is going to be so critical.
Team hoping their skip can help them out here a little bit. That's a tough spot.
Yes, yes, yes.
They're working on it as it gets close to the center line, but it looks a little heavy.
got room this time.
They're not sweeping.
Not
Books heavy.
sweeping, not sweeping.
It is curling, but it is going to be through the house.
Unfortunately.
Or, no, it is going to sit
It's
in the
gonna-
back 12, but
Back 12, but
it is out counting at least
one,
one and maybe two
two.
Yellowstones, but it
Okay,
is-
something happened on that delivery. Calvin immediately got up, looked at the ice, felt that something was not right on that delivery when he and looked at the ice. So he may felt like there was something underfoot, something going on.
Well, I think if he picked something up along the way, that might have been what slowed that rock down, because it looked a little hot as it was
Well,
going into the
then it
house.
needed it, right?
Yeah.
Crossman, throw it back out, straight down.
And it looks like
I think what Hunter needs to do is split those two front ones. Just, guard that draw to the 12th. Guard. And it can be on the rings.
yeah.
Needs to be on the rings so that the come around isn't easy.
Yeah, maybe just even biting the 8-foot there, or
Could.
certainly full 12, yeah.
Yeah, full 12. And just to the left of center, do you think that would make it
Yep.
the toughest for him?
I do. And, especially with the way we're seeing this ice right now, and
Yes.
no skip ever wants to have to draw against 4 or 5 maybe.
The pressure.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, added.
definitely putting the screws to the other team is sometimes a good way to force an error or
Force an error, or even it drains you.
It
does
does.
drain you, because then for the next end, if you're always facing these tough shots, it takes its toll.
4-5, 4-5. Yes, hard.
Okay, it
Sweepers
looks
are
a
working
little
on
light.
this. It does.
Looks a little light.
Okay, open up, open up.
Sweepers are working on
They're calling for over and up, which of course means they'd rather the line be better,
it. But
better
now it's
line.
close to the center line,
It
and
is.
it's crossing over.
It is on center line, so there is room for
Mm-hmm.
him. There's plenty of room for him to outdraw.
I mean, and this is the side that you would rather have the draw on, because
Yeah.
it keeps you away from that center line.
Yeah.
And with the hammer, he really only has to be only just biting 8-foot. I mean, there's one rock that's just sort of touching the 8-foot.
Yes.
Half 8 would, front or back,
Would do it.
will save the point
So
here.
he's got lots of room to work with. Now he was heavy on his last shot, which was a draw, and he is
there's no real
drawing
backing
against-
on this line.
No backing. So there's a lot of pressure on it, but it's certainly doable.
Sweeper's
They're
working
sweeping
on it.
hard. They're sweeping hard.
Back 8 is as good as the front.
Yeah, don't give up on it, boys.
Looks like it should be there. Yep.
And they've got it.
Right into the 4.
Absolutely well done under pressure.
Nice shot by Calvin Weber to save the point there. That was the hammer, yeah?
Yes, it was.
All right.
Okay, over in the 3-4 game, in the 5th end, it looks like we had a big steal of 2. And so the score is now
By Mike Krizz's
Mike
team.
Krizz's team. So the score is now 5-2 over Girl Power, Courtney Shaw's team. So now, again, all tied up in our 1-2 game at 4 apiece after the 5th end,
Hard.
with Clausen having the hammer
Yep, and in the
in
even
the
ends.
important 6th.
This first guard is just going to get over the far hog line.
I guess we'll try to come this way.
So are we still at 16 people, or did we pick up anybody, or did somebody go to sleep?
Is that 22?
22. We've picked up a few listeners.
Hey, it's all you, Ann.
Oh, sure.
Your curling tips.
Mine's good, top 8. At the end.
Okay, a nice draw round coming up from Claudad. And
Yep.
he came in right behind that long guard into the 8-foot behind cover.
Yeah, it's hard to tell from the other end. They might be able to see half of that or something, but it looks like actually they're just going to try to follow it in.
Yeah. A lot of ice for that. Way off the rings.
Whoa, whoa. Yep. Yep.
Sweeping.
All the way now, all the way.
Sweeping hard. Oops, I think they're going to leave it a little short.
Yep, this is just gonna be a
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
Which
So-
unfortunately is
Ground flow is fine too.
a further guard at this point. But
Yeah, not what Calvin wants with his situation. But
Eric Clausen, second shot,
Yes.
is away,
Yes.
calling for sweep, and now off.
looks a little hot. Might be through with some good sweeping from Calvin. And
Just,
he does
yep.
get it through. Okay.
And they say that skips don't sweep.
Yeah, we need to get to it. Here we go. Yep, yep, yep. Yep, yep.
Back 4.
Third.
It was a lot of fun for me to see some of the World Championship this year on TV. I was doing a rental on Saturday and just happened to see a little piece and see one of my mentors, one of my first really good skips, Ray Turnbull, get into the World Curling Hall of Fame.
All right.
And it was a real pleasure to see him get recognition for all the work he's done for the sport of curling, announcing and playing. But I was reminded of it when you said about skips not sweeping. As a competitor, he always played lead in Canada. And when he would tell his stories, and of course what Canadian curler doesn't love to tell their stories, he would always refer to the dumb skip. Most of the time affectionately.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Okay, so we're looking at Eli's shot coming down on a red. Oh, and it's curling. Big time.
Yeah, right on that center line.
Yeah.
And it's going to catch that high guard.
I think that was a little too subtle for that take.
Yeah, especially with what we're seeing the ice doing right now.
Absolutely.
Close to the center line.
Yeah. So
Just let's freeze to the inside. Yeah.
that's probably the worst
Okay. I don't want the guard.
miss I've seen Eli do. He's just been terrific. How old is Eli? Eli is like,
Ask the peanut gallery over here.
okay, the peanut gallery. We need to know how old Eli is.
Yep. Yeah, line.
All of what? 12?
Where's the weight?
13?
Where's the weight?
Yeah. He has such a lot of maturity for his age on the ice.
Yeah, to be playing, I'm pretty sure he's the youngest player in Capital League, and
Oh, yeah.
not that you would know it, really, to watch him play.
No, he has a lot of maturity on the ice, but he certainly felt bad about that shot. Okay, so
Well, the best solution for that is to,
come back and,
and he's going to have another crack at
Yep.
something here.
yep,
What?
because now we're sitting 2 red, both of them biting the 4-foot, both just about 2 feet off center, either side.
There might be a double there. I don't know that that's what they're calling, though.
There could be, but
That was yours, Caleb.
but even if he doesn't, I'm not sure the double's there, but it's certainly a hit and roll behind cover.
That's looks to be what
Yeah.
what Hunter's calling.
Yeah. And now Eli is making sure he knows what weight to throw. So good concentration. They're sweeping hard. Gotta get it by the guard. Oh, now up, now up. Oh, it backed off. Backed off, big time. Backed off. And that happens.
It's part of the game, especially at our club.
You like this?
But Eli and his brothers were the winners in the first event of the Cherry Blossom Bonspiel that we had here this year.
That's right.
Eli only played in the first game, really, as he was the fifth on the team. Was surprised to get a first event pin, but
Well, we certainly predict it's the first of many.
yeah, right. Even the alternate on the Olympic team gets a gold medal.
That's right.
Whether or not they even set out on the ice, they're part of the team.
Okay, so now it is.
And I'm totally not holding it against them that they knocked my team out of the Cherry Blossom in that first event semifinal.
We're not thinking about that
We're not
anymore.
thinking about
No, we have no resentments.
Definitely not. They
Okay.
played a good game.
They played a good game. They deserved it.
And, at least they then went on to win the whole thing. So
Well, and that's
we can
what
claim.
yes. That's validation that you were beaten by a very good team.
That stone over curled, I think.
Yes,
I
they
think
wanted
they
a
were
guard.
hoping for a guard.
Hoping for a guard. So now Hunter's got to figure out this darn piece of ice that is
And this is-
backing off.
This is tricky. Your comment about backing off is actually what made me think of the Cherry Blossom. And playing on this sheet, that was something that we had to be aware of. Sweeper's
Oh
working.
no. Oh, just got it. Just ticked it out.
Making the adjustment that time.
Yep.
Leaves red just sitting one in the house. It does have a guard out front of it, but it's not lined up perfectly to be behind cover.
What would you say? About half of it showing?
It's hard to tell from our
here, yeah,
position and
it
from
is.
this end of the ice, but something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So he does have to guard it. He's definitely able to get it out of there.
Which is
Not
what they
right.
seem to be calling for here.
Yep.
Oh, looks hot. Yep, line.
Sweeper's working on this one.
Hard line.
Oh boy, and it's awful light.
Very
Looks like
light.
it is curling a lot. Now they're gonna use it to try and now
Wow,
it curled
look
so
at
much that they're gonna they're using it as a guard for the forefoot on the other side.
Well,
Hey,
plan B.
plan B, get a lemon, make lemonade.
Stays down to curl more.
Okay, so Hunter is ready to get this one out. Calling for sweep. I think they're getting a little too subtle on their takes. I loved it early on, but man,
When the ice is doing what it's doing right now. And they are going to promote a Red Rock to the tee line out on the 12-foot, and the other one just bumps over. Their shooter remains there on the center line.
yes, not the outcome they wanted at all. So now Calvin is going to work on a steal here. Yeah, I couldn't tell if Caleb came out on the line. I just think he came out a little soft
Yeah.
for that take.
Yeah, and especially, again, just seeing
What
those
we've been
rocks really
seeing.
jump
Yeah.
jump across the center line now.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised they haven't adapted a little bit to that.
Well, I think that there's maybe some optimism.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not going to happen to my rock.
Now a lot of discussion
Well,
on
they
the
need
Weber
to,
rink.
right, and they need to figure out where to put this broom to get enough curl that the guard lines up, but not so much that it, because again, if it drifts close to that center line,
Oh boy.
yeah. But seems to be an agreement here on the game plan. Alvin Weber delivering his first rock. Sweepers on it.
He's on it.
Somebody lost something on the
Equipment
ice
flying.
there. I'm not sure what that was.
Not sure either.
Somebody's rock watcher.
Yeah. Okay. Looks like it has lined it up nicely in a 2 position.
They're very glad that whoever's watch that was didn't burn that rock, because it did
Yeah.
end up in a very nice position.
Absolutely. So I think Hunter is now understanding that that shot is now not open. And it looks like he's looking to use his front guard.
The intern, and coming here. Intern.
Now he's looking at about a come around as opposed to a promote.
Like this. I have that
And it looks like Courtney Shaw's team scored on sheet B, but we don't have that score yet.
I did peek over. I think they may have scored 2, but I won't say for sure until we see it posted.
Caleb walking down to join his brothers here.
Right,
Have
lot of
little
discussion
on this shot.
Yeah. What to do.
Dad letting the kids figure it out. All right.
All right.
Seems like they.
Okay, so this is Hunter's first shot.
And I'm gonna guess, are they trying to run the guard here?
It sure looks like it. It looks like they're trying to run the guard and add an angle and take out shot rock.
Well, that's going to be, I think, a very difficult line to call with what we've seen happening on the center line.
I agree, but
let's see him do it.
And I guess he assumes then that his shooter will roll over and not be in the way. He's sweeping from the very beginning. Now off. Oh, it's just going to. Okay. It did come over a lot. It did take away the center guard. Got it out of the way. But of course now Caleb just needs to put it back.
Okay, well. Yep.
I think Hunter was hoping for not as much roll.
Putting it back, easier said than done. That guard got there in the first place on a bit of an over curl. Might be tough to replicate.
Let's just play for right here.
That's probably a smart move. He's talking about playing for a long guard.
I like that better.
I do too. Stay away from the house. Don't give him the opportunity to double out, use it. To me, that's called the big guard.
Yep. And as long as he has enough weight to get it over the center line,
right.
They have a little bit of room to play with the line. And even if it's a bit heavy, that
yes.
should be okay. Giving himself some tolerance here both ways.
Absolutely.
On sheet A, score is swinging back and forth.
Yeah. looks like, okay, so sheet A, it's 7-6
High scoring
after
game.
5. Yeah, big time there. Okay, here comes the guard. Is it going to come over?
It is coming across the center line now. They're just going to finish it.
And they do.
That's a nice spot for that.
It certainly is.
Just maybe a foot or two deeper than what he had asked for, but well within what they're happy to work with, I think.
So
And the game on sheet D is moving into 6th end here. We don't have a score there yet.
okay. So Hunter has opted to draw around. He's not going to mess up. He's not going to. That center line over there with that port is so tricky that he's just afraid of promoting and giving them another rock. So this is the last shot of the end, and right now Calvin's sitting two red, and
Is he just trying to hold him to 1 here?
he could be just trying to hold him to 1.
Okay, well, we're never by this far.
Oh, I think he might have
hold.
come up a little light.
Yeah.
All the way.
This.
All the way, guys.
That's very close. Very close. I think red might have it.
Okay. Looks like it was 2 red.
Was
So
that
steal of 2.
Just trying to confirm.
Yep.
Yeah, they didn't look at it for very long,
No,
so I'm
they
going to guess
didn't.
that it was a steal
Yeah.
of 2 for red.
Yeah, I think so.
Big steal this
Very
late in the
big
game.
in the 6th end. Steal of 2 in the 6 is very big.
So this is how the score looks now. It's the second time red is stolen, and they are now up 6-4, moving into the 7th.
You like this?
And I would imagine that Hunter would have loved to have had that shot back.
I think I
Give
like
it
that
a little
one.
more oomph.
Usually not a problem on that team.
Yes, no.
And the first stone here looks to definitely be in the house, maybe behind the tee.
That would be Brandon's first shot.
3.
Now, as I said, he usually can't do early draws, but he is playing hooky to be in this game tonight.
Uh-oh.
Yep, 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 yep.
Hopefully he's not. Nobody else in the Potomac Curling Club.
Down corner.
Is in his class.
Line's good.
Just want to let you know that the crowd is building here.
Well, everyone's really be excited for the late draw. I mean, that's where the real action is.
Not 4.
2.
Yeah, a little bit. Looks like you need it. Yeah, come on.
Oh, wait. Hang on. That first rock is your. Okay.
Okay, so we haven't been giving you an update too much. So on sheet C, we now have 2 red stones in the house
Yep, a bit early.
and off center, but Hunter has chosen to ignore.
Yeah. No.
At this time, he's going to try and come around his most excellent corner guard that was placed there by his father in the first with the first rock and try and get around it.
Maybe it's the 6.
And that darn center line, that curl,
Initially I gave
they're on on the guard. Ticked it over a little bit. They're still both guards in play. So of course now Calvin is going to work on guarding his 2 shots. With Gabe's first shot. This looks pretty good for a guard. Or is it curling?
It is curling, and I think it's a little heavier than they wanted.
Oh, darn.
It's going to be
yeah.
just even with their.
Yeah.
Oh, a little in front of, but.
That'd be good too.
Okay, I'm curious to see what kind of weight he. Okay, he's calling for control weight, so they are up in the weight a little bit on takes now. I don't think he gave him control weight. No, it did curl.
Even with control weight, I think on this sheet right now.
Yeah, but I think it was a little
I
down
do think it
weight
was
from control. Yeah.
A little quiet.
Yep. All right, so it took off one of the yellow guards that was near center line.
And is rolled and is not biting.
Nope.
Just off by the edge of the sheet.
So right now, if I had to say Big Mo is on one side or the other, I'd say it was on the Calvin Weber rink.
I think they've got the stuff right now.
I think they do. Not that it can't change at any moment.
Yeah.
Big Mo is very fickle.
But yeah, they've been able to steal 2 ends this game.
Yep.
Got a steal of 2 last end, which late in the game is definitely
Very big.
a shot of adrenaline. They are definitely in the driver's seat here at the moment. Even if they can hold Clausen's to, they can hold Clausen's to 1 this end. They
And
go
then
into the last end with a lead and the hammer.
And the hammer.
Even if Clausen's take 2 here, it will be even in the last end.
Right.
And Weber
they
will have
still
the
have
hammer.
hammer.
And it does not, at the moment, just at this moment, look like Clausen's are in a position for a bigger end than that. But as you said, things can change.
Hard sweep on Eli's second shot. Trying to keep, and they just tick the guard.
And even with the tick, just miss
Just miss
the
again.
rocks in the forefoot.
So the guard did its job. And they're going to put another one back to protect those 3 red rocks.
I don't blame them.
Nope. The Clausen clan is just missing by inches. Just
Now, Anne, do you think does it start to enter your brain at some point here that this is a page playoff and that even if you lose this game, you have another shot at it?
you do have another opportunity, and it does. It definitely does.
I suppose it's impossible to really shut that out completely.
No. I mean, that's the whole point of the page playoff, right? Since giving that opportunity again.
Although no one, I think, really relishes the idea
No.
of playing a second game immediately after.
Back to back. Climbing back.
Caleb Clausen in the hack. Getting ready for his
Third.
Second shot.
Second
First
shot.
shot.
First shot. Okay. They need a good throw here.
That's right. One good shot can start a chain reaction. Get themselves back in here.
Oh, and that was a beaut.
Triple takeout.
Triple
is,
takeout.
Definitely
A good
nice momentum swing.
shot. That will increase the momentum on the.
Gives them a chance
Yeah.
to do something here. There's nothing counting in the house at the moment.
Clean house.
Calvin Weber calling the draw around, I believe. Or possibly a guard. This looks like draw
No, it's a
weight.
draw around. I think he's got to come around on the way.
Whoa, where are we? Yep, line.
Close to that center line.
Yep. Trying to get it by. Sweeping. And they do.
But now will it?
Will
Yeah.
it stick?
Yes, it will. Right to the
Right
tee
to the
line.
tee.
Just behind. But
Very nice shot. So follow it down. is
and
what
well,
Hunter
pretty
is
well
saying.
guarded that
Yeah.
stone.
But he's asking.
Yeah, they can draw down and sit on it and be sitting holding shot. So
So he's asking Caleb with his second shot to follow it down.
it's hard coming from a triple takeout down to a
Yes.
tee weight. See,
That's a mental process that you have to go through. Take to a draw. Take to a draw. Looks like he's adjusted well. Get it by. They get it by. Has it got enough juice? Not quite.
Sitting full 8, more or less in front of the shot rock.
Yeah, and shot rock is almost full 4 foot. Back of the tee. But still, as you recognize, a very difficult shot to go from a big weight triple takeout to a very delicate tee shot draw. Takes a lot of mental adjustment.
And on sheet B, looks like Girl Power, Courtney Shaw's rink, stole one in the 7th to bring it level at 5. They'll be without the hammer in the last end, though. So they'll be looking to steal again. Mike Kriz and company just need to score 1 with the hammer for the win to make it into the next round of the Page playoff after this.
So it's going to be an exciting finish in the first round tonight.
For both teams.
Yep.
As there's still some game left to play here on sheet C.
Okay, Calvin with his first shot.
This is going to be a guard.
Coming.
And so I would stay off of it now. Don't let it over curl.
Nice guard.
That is a nice shot.
Yeah, like right here.
That stone is maybe a foot or so in front of the house.
And
There are some options for Claussens to run something in there and try to, but all of their options to run in are red right now,
Red.
which is not
not ideal.
not ideal.
What he's trying to do is decide which red stone to try and promote into his yellow and push his back to be shot. Really difficult shot. The other option is a draw, but they've seen so many problems with that curl on center. I guess they've decided they need to do something with it on Hunter's first shot. A lot of discussion. Okay, so he's definitely chosen to use the red, that beautiful guard that Calvin put up, to clear the front, possibly promote his yellow, and not pick it out. Again, more discussion as Hunter gets in the hack. Moving the ice a little.
Did they move it in closer to the
Yes,
center line?
they did.
Tricky on this line.
I know. Okay,
But
here we
he's
go.
been looking at it.
It is away. Sweeping immediately. Now up.
I think I would stay on that.
A lot of back and forth, up and down, up and down. And they do it.
Great shot.
Unbelievable. Very difficult shot.
That yellow shot is now
Unfortunately,
fully in the
fully
back of the
exposed.
forefoot.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, fully exposed. And red has second shot, which is the only other rock in play at the moment. Well, in the house.
But that was a well-played shot. It's just too bad it couldn't roll either way for undercover.
It was kind of hanging out there, and then
Hunter
it
shot.
And on to the second stones on sheet B. Courtney Shaw currently sitting 1, but without the hammer.
Mike calling for, a
And unfortunately, that shot takes their own rock out of the
out
back of the house.
rather than either getting by or promoting back into shot rock. So Courtney's gonna guard it again. Okay, back to our main feature.
Calvin Weber, first rock.
Going for a take.
No, his second rock.
Oh, it's second rock. Okay. Okay.
And he nose hit.
Nose hit. So
That's going to leave it open, but that's going to hold the Clausens to 1, which
Yep,
is
that's not all bad. Well, it's going to make for a great end.
a steal here. Would almost be the end of the game, but holding them to 1 will still give Weber's rink a 1-point advantage and hammer in the last end.
One up with hammer.
Not a
Two
bad way
big-
to be.
Two big advantages.
Yeah.
And Hunter still has to make this shot. And as we've seen a lot of takes just go by.
Cleaning.
Gotta be a nose hit. Needs to be a nose hit. They're sweeping hard. They're sweeping hard.
Oh, it is curling, but it's going to get enough of it.
Oh my.
Oh, that rock rolled.
rolled.
And
The
now
question
they're going to
is-
have to look at it.
They're looking at it carefully. They've decided.
I'm not sure. Eli Clausen kicked the red rock in towards center, but I'm not sure if that was
That's
meant
what
to
that
indicate.
meant. Yeah.
Yep, bring it now. Whoa,
But
okay.
yep,
It did.
Yep.
they steal another end.
They steal another end. They have now stolen 3 ends. And the score is now
7-4.
7-4.
Now Weber will no longer have the hammer in the last end, but with a 3-point advantage.
Pretty difficult to overcome for Clausen. So now, looking over on sheet B, Courtney is sitting with 3 spread out rocks in the house and 1 guard, and Mike has chosen to peel that guard. And he does so. Does does jam on one of the rocks in the house, and there's still 3 yellow. He did open up the center a little bit more. Okay, back to our feature game. Early rocks, we're looking at just over the hog line for both first rocks. Long guards.
Yep. Hard. Keep bringing it.
Okay.
Okay,
So now Calvin is calling for in the house.
And this rock definitely has more weight.
Yeah.
Maybe too much weight.
Well, he actually, they may want to sweep it through.
Yeah, and I don't think they're going to need to help it too
No.
much.
Okay, so now Hunter is looking for a come around counter from his dad.
Yes.
And this line has been a little quick.
Yeah, and I think
Most of
he
the
might be
game.
a little light.
It's certainly over curling on that
Yep.
center line as
Yep.
we continue to see. And that's going to be on their guard, I think.
Ticked
Yeah,
on the
just
guard,
ticked
but
and
it's
into the house.
still coming into the house, into the 8-foot.
Wide open, but in the
Yep,
8-foot.
In the 8-foot. So Calvin is simply going to have to keep it clean.
Yep. Well, and that might not be easy with the center line acting the way it's been.
Got to still make the shots.
Gonna have to find that line. Probably a fair amount of weight. I'm gonna guess they're gonna throw at these.
Okay, here it comes. Nose hit. Tiny, tiny roll. Hunter's going to ignore it, try and get a counter undercover using that long guard.
I think Courtney Shaw has just thrown her first skip stone
Yeah.
on sheet B.
Hoping
She's still
for-
sitting 2 at the moment, trying to guard the house.
May have come over a little too far. He probably can still see shot rock, I'm not sure.
Yes, line. Line's good.
He's looking at it.
Yes.
Okay, they're hoping back on C, hoping to get by.
Bury it.
And again, whoever wins that game on sheet B will be into the second step of the page playoff against what would look to be the Clausen rink at this point.
Right. Okay, so the shot didn't quite bury, and therefore on sheet C. Therefore, Calvin is going for it, but it is with Caleb's rock. It's hanging on center, but it looks like it made, oh my, just went through. Right through the goalpost.
That's fine. Can't go.
So now Hunter is looking for a take on the red shot rock. I'm telling you, this is getting hard, Adam, looking at both sheet B and C, watching what's happening.
Whoa. Yes. Hard.
Nice hit. Good separation. And 2 yellow rocks sitting in the 12-foot.
My teammates are bugging me, saying that I have to get ready for my draw after this. So
Oh.
I think that I might step away here, but I think that you have this well
let
in
Michael
hand.
Dobbs come in?
Yes.
All right, Adam.
Well, it's been my pleasure, Ann. This
This
has
has
just
been
fun.
a lot of fun.
It has.
A lot of fun.
I'll do this shot, and then I'll
Okay.
let Michael step in.
Okay, Galit hit. Landon fell, but did not do anything to spoil the shot, and they'd make it. Okay, welcome, Michael.
Thank you, Ann. Happy to help out for the last draw here.
You betcha.
Yeah, just very half.
Okay, so here comes Caleb's shot, looking for a draw, and bury it.
Oh, it's curling early.
It's curling early. I think it's a little light. Awfully light.
You got to keep it around the guard.
Come on, bring it, bring it. Oh, nice freeze. I couldn't believe they got that. Was great sweeping.
I thought it was on the guard the whole way.
I did too. I can't believe it's the visual that shouldn't have happened. I thought it was a wreck for sure. I started looking it over at sheet B at the great shot that Courtney just made, and now it's down to last rock for Mike Kriz, and he's got to do a wonderful draw the button to win.
Yes. Hard.
Back here, it's again tight to the guard, but I think they'll clear it.
Hard, 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 hard.
And they don't.
Oof.
Wow. Okay.
That's what I get for watching the game and not the cameras.
Okay, here comes on sheet B, Mike Kriz's last shot. It's got to be a draw to the button. Now they're calling for the sweep. Calling for the sweep. A lot of yelling. It is curling. It's curling hard. Oh, it looks like it's going to wreck. It's going to wreck. Okay.
Really close, though.
Very nice, close game. So Courtney Shaw's team prevails, and they will be playing in the next game.
In about 10 minutes.
Yeah, a lot of time, downtime. Okay. So Hunter's chosen a strategy to guard the two rocks that are there in the house in the 12-foot, and they came up with a beautiful guard.
Absolutely. It's perfectly aligned for what he asked for it to do.
Absolutely. And the problem is they have not been coming this way.
Yep.
So what he's made Calvin do is to try the harder shot.
Absolutely. Now, if he can make it, if he manages to clear one of those yellows out of the house, that'll be A, an amazing shot.
Yes.
And B, really put the pressure on Clausen, because he'll have to get a skip's deuce to get 3 here.
Right.
And that's very difficult.
To tie it. And yeah, just.
And that's for the tie, not the win.
Right, not the win. So a difficult shot for Calvin to do, as he has not seen takeouts come this way. But here we go.
Yes.
And it's curling.
On the guard.
On the guard.
Curling past the guard.
Past the guard. It does peel the guard. But there was an example of make the skip, make the unknown shot.
Yep.
And he did it.
Now, would you put the guard back, or would you put this in the house?
Oh, my. This is, I think you got to be patient and put the guard back.
All right. You put the guard back, and I guess Weber has a choice to either go for that takeout again, or he could try and draw.
Draw around.
Yeah.
And then bury.
Weber should feel pretty okay with the guard call, because it means he won't lose in this end.
Right. He has chosen to, Hunter has chosen to go for the guard again. And placement is everything. It's coming down nicely. Okay.
A little tighter, but.
A little tighter, but still good position.
Absolutely.
The only problem is that there is a run back possibility now, I think.
Yeah, but the run back is a little dangerous.
True.
the angles are just wrong and all 3 yellows stay in the house, you've given up the game.
True, but if he comes with any weight, no,
Yeah.
he's decided to draw.
I think that's the right call.
He's going to draw.
He just tried to throw the hit,
Right.
and it didn't work out. He's thrown plenty of draws this game.
He has.
So make the draw, force them to follow you in with takeout weight, and maybe they hit and roll out.
Yeah.
I mean, if he really buries this.
Yeah, game over.
Yep.
So this is exciting, coming down to last shot, just as it was on sheet B.
Absolutely.
Fun to watch. Here we come.
Get line, get line! Yes!
They're waiting.
Yes!
I think
He's around the guard. He's got lots of room.
Lots of room.
Look at that curl.
That's beautiful. Nice shot. Nice
perfect.
shot.
It is absolutely perfect.
And a lot of medium highs. High fives, not high fives, but medium fives.
How the heck
Wow.
do you get around those guards?
And move that red rock enough.
The red rock has to bite the outside of the house.
Yeah.
And you have to stick
And you
around
have
in
to
the house.
And you have to stick.
They're lining up the triple raise takeout. I don't think it's there.
No, it isn't because look because of
Yeah.
the angle of the.
Way too much of a drag effect.
Yeah. No, he's got to move it with back house weight. Well, now he's looking at he's saying hack weight.
It's got to be hacked because you're not going to get much of that red rock.
No.
I mean,
and then it's got to stick.
Yep.
And
tough shot.
It's a tough shot, but he's got enough house to stick.
I don't know with that guard in front of the house if he'll see any of it coming out of the hack.
I know. He's going to go down there, and it's going to look pretty scary.
Yeah. I think a lefty in this case wouldn't even, not possible. Not possible.
No. Well, there's a lot of nervous energy out there right now. Okay.
Obviously a good call by Weber.
Yep.
Made the right decision.
But you have to give Hunter a lot of credit, too, for setting this up.
Absolutely.
To be able to throw last rock.
Being patient.
Patient, doing what he did to set this up to get the possibility of 3. So now it comes down to this. The shot is away.
Can they just...
Oh, it just picked.
It picks.
It just picked. Oh, that's a shame.
That is not what you want to see.
No, not at all.
With the hammer.
Not at all. That's just a shame.
That will do it.
Yes.
So it is officially a steal of 1 in the 8th end for Weber.
Yep.
They will win this game, this 1-2 game, and advance directly to the finals in our Page playoff system here. Team Clausen will fall down to the Page semifinal, which will start in about 10 minutes. And on the same sheets of ice will be our 9-12 and 10-11 games for our House Cup.
All right.
Well, thank you, Ann, for broadcasting for us and for providing your wonderful commentary.
You're welcome. It was really a great pleasure. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I'm on late, too.
Well, thank you, everyone, for watching, and we will be back in hopefully just a few minutes with whatever game we decide to cover for Late Draw. Have a good night, folks.
See you in a bit.